My guest tonight is a very funny comedian and one of the most talented impressionists performing today. She's also the first ever Latina cast member on Saturday Night Live. Please welcome the insanely talented Melissa Villaseñor. Melissa, thanks for doing this.
Thanks, Conan. Thanks for having me.
Hey, we have a lot to talk about. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. You've been obviously killing it on Saturday Night Live. You're so funny. You do such amazing impressions. The latest I'm told is Lin-Manuel Miranda. You're working on a Lin-Manuel Miranda. This is you in your makeup as Lin-Manuel Miranda. And if I'm not mistaken, you just took a ballpoint pen. Is that what you did?
Well, no. That is an eyeliner. And I always know that it looks really good. I mean, it doesn't look realistic, but I'm saying that's all I had on me, okay?
Okay. No, I like it. I'm just going to tell you in real life, and you probably have too, I've spent time with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and in real life, he uses a ballpoint pen.
Oh, okay. Good.
So that's what he does, and he just fills it in throughout the day. What is the key to, I don't know that I've heard someone do a Lin-Manuel Miranda impression. What's the key? How do you hone in on that?
Well, I was thinking about it. The way he sings, it sounds like he's in the sea and he's drowning. Okay, and he's telling a boat nearby. He's saying, "Please, hand me a lifesaver. I'm drowning. I just want to live with you." And so that's all, right? Or he's slipping off a rope, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I love you. Don't let go.
Do you sing some of the actual songs that he sings in Hamilton?
Well, I have been singing my shot, but the problem is I don't know all the lyrics, but I want to sing it real fast like he does.
Right.
And I was trying to sing it to my sister the other day. I was like, "I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. And you're just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and homie." And I said, "Homie." And she's
homie?
Hungry. It's hungry.
It's hungry, yeah. Have you tried this out on Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Nobody saw. I shared a photo of that. Oh no, the video of me. I drove through a coffee place and I said, "I'll take a cold brew with a shot." And I filmed. It was so stupid. But he messaged me and he laughed. So
those are my favorite. My favorite impressions are the silly ones. Do you know what I mean? The ones where it's just like you're using it in a completely ridiculous, absurd way. Getting a Starbucks order. You also do. I'm a huge fan of John Mulaney's, as I think we all are. But you do a great John Mulaney impression.
I think for him, I was just kind of. I think I watched his stand-ups, a few specials, and I was thinking of like he always goes, "I've noticed when I wear my pants, sometimes I do have ants in my pants." And that's a saying, but it's true to my life. It's always saying like I noticed something, an observation. And then
he's got kind of an old-fashioned sort of diction, and I mean he could be in Vaudeville. It could be 1922, and here's John Mulaney. You know,
yeah. We saw it on the SNL at Home. He was in the masterclass sketch where he's a master at putting on suits, putting together your tie and your button, look like you're going to your first Holy Communion. And so he saw it and he really liked it. And then I noticed he does a certain thing when he's walking, he goes, you know?
You know what? One of the impressions that you do, I'm just talking about how you'll pick an unusual target, the Little Rascals. The Little Rascals is something that I grew up watching, and it's from the 1930s, but they would show it a lot on local television when I was a kid. That's how I know it. I didn't even know that someone your age would be aware of the Little Rascals.
We would rent the Little Rascals VHS, the classics.
Oh, good. Okay.
But the past few months, my mom just let me borrow her Little Rascal DVDs, and she said, "Give them back, because these are my favorite." I was like, I'm not going to keep them.
No.
Yeah,
so and so you started watching those, and I'm told you do a Little Rascals impression, or an impression of the Little Rascals.
Well, because I was trying to watch Little Rascals, and I couldn't even get through an episode. I don't know what they're saying. You can't hear it. It's so crinkly and old, you know? They're just like, No, hamburger. That's all I could hear. So
yeah, that's pretty much all it is. And also long takes. They'll do like there'll be visuals of like Spanky looking at, or Alfalfa looking at something, or somebody, a buckwheat. I don't know. They'll just be looking at something and they'll be like, and the camera will be on them way too long. And you think they just had more time in the 19th. You know, comedy now is cut. It's like this. And back then, someone would do something funny and they'd cut to someone else going.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? You just had more time during the Depression? Wasn't film expensive then? Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson, people do impressions of. I'm told you do a pretty mean Owen Wilson.
I do, yeah. I learned that one probably over 10 years ago. I remember trying it out at the Haha Cafe open mic when I was 17. No one knew who he was in the crowd. They were like, who's Owen? And I was ahead of the time.
Owen Wilson knows that you do an impression of him, right?
Yeah. 3 years ago, my dad met him at a job site. My dad's a fence contractor. If you need a gate, Conan, you let me know, and I'll let my dad know.
Sure, I would be honored to have your dad build me a gate. I would.
I'm just picturing a gate around you.
Yeah, I want a gate surrounding. I want a gate that separates myself from my son. That's what I want. From my 14-year-old son, yeah.
My dad was working at a house in Malibu, okay, putting up a gate, and he sees Owen walk by, and he goes, "Hey, Owen, I'm Melissa Villaseñor's dad. She does an impression of you." And then Owen goes, "Oh, yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty good. Yeah, well, it's very good." And then they were chatting for a while. And then at the end of the conversation, my dad goes, "Hey, Owen, be careful over there, okay? Because there's a beehive. Just watch out." And Owen goes, "Okay, thanks. Yeah." And then 3 years later, I meet Owen and I go, "Owen, I love you so much. Oh man, nice to meet you." And then the first thing he says is, "I met your dad. He helped me out with some bees." Yeah.
He helped me out with some
bees.
Yes.
Exactly
yes.
that.
I love that. If you hadn't known what he was talking about, that would have been so funny.
Yeah.
If God hadn't told you and you met Owen. If I met Owen Wilson and he just said, "Yeah, I met your dad. He helped me out with some bees," I would love it. I would love not knowing the context. That would give me a lot of joy. You talk about your dad. Are your parents funny? Did you get your sense of humor from your parents?
Yeah, I did. My dad is the goofy one, the people pleaser. He's sensitive. He loves musicals. My mom is like the honest, just, you know, sometimes she's just brutally honest, you know. Sometimes she'll look at me and she'll go like, "Your mustache is coming in. Take care of that. You're on a show now." So there's, you know, but they're so different. They're kind of like, I share this on stage. They're like, you know, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Yeah. Oh, see, I know. I watch all the classics. Okay, good for me.
Good for you. You got to give me a chance to say good for you. Good for me. You got to give someone a chance.
All right.
By the way, I give to charities, and that makes me a great guy. But anyway, so the classic: Steve Martin, John Candy, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Yeah.
So on our VHS cover in the 90s, my dad wrote his name next to John Candy's character, and my mom next to Steve Martin. Okay. And so they have arguments like in the movie. I've heard them in their room. Like my mom would be like, "Mike, not everyone needs to like you, okay? People don't like me. I'm okay with it. You don't see me crying." My dad's like, "Stop it, Lupe. The kids were having a tough week. I was trying to make them laugh. They don't like you, Mike. Nobody likes you." And I walk in like, "Mom and Dad, are you guys okay?" My mom's like, "I'm okay. Your dad's crying. Nobody likes him." But he like gets upset when someone dislikes him and he wants to fix it.
I identify with your dad, and I don't think I could stand. I mean, that's rough. First of all, Your mom doesn't sound like she's being brutally honest. I'm sure there are people who like your dad. Nobody likes you. That's not honest. That's cruel. You can't say that to anybody.
I mean, sometimes when he's, a little geeky or something, my mom will be like, if I knew you in school, I'd beat you up.
Well, it sounds like a very loving relationship.
It's really, it balances out. It's pretty fun.
It's also, you got to have parents like that to get you into comedy. That's the reason to do it,
Yeah. And I think I'm like that. I think I'm silly, but I could also be pretty pissed and honest.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Are you mad at me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want you mad at me, so I'll just, I'll do my best to behave. I've been doing stand-up. I know I'm impressed by this because during the pandemic, so many stand-up comedians are saying, well, I can't work. I can't go to a club. You've been picking some really unusual venues. You've been doing stand-up. We have a picture here of you on a porch. Mm-hmm. Where is this? Is this L.A. or where are you?
It was somewhere near USC, I think.
Oh, that's near USC, yeah.
LA. Yeah, but I was...
Crowd looks, well, I can't tell if you're bombing there or what. I can't tell what's happening.
It was okay.
Uh-huh.
It was a lady, a nurse who works at Cedars. She reached out and I said I would perform it for her front lawn, and those were a few of her neighbors that came by.
That's nice.
I bought a little speaker and a microphone from Guitar Center, and I said, let's do this. And I performed at a baseball park once, and a treehouse.
Oh yeah, we have a picture. What's happening here? Because here you are in a treehouse performing.
Yeah.
Again, can't tell how it's going over, but this seems like a slightly better venue to me.
This was great because two things. Performing in a treehouse brought the kid energy even more alive in my jokes,
right.
and then that height level, being above so high gave me a lot of power.
Right. Yeah. You look like you could be a stand-up or a dictator. You look like you could be a cruel, arbitrary dictator who works with a little. Is that a little girl you're doing? Who is your co-star in this?
So my friend Cindy, that's her daughter Leona, and that's Leona's treehouse. So she was, of course, like, who's this person up here in my treehouse? So she stood by me like a little bodyguard.
He looks like your hype man, Yeah. Just there to go, yeah, that's right. Preach, tell it. That looks like fun, though.
That was my favorite. That was so fun.
So when do you guys, I want to make sure I get the word out, because you start up again, Saturday Night Live returns October 3rd.
October 3rd, yep.
At 11:30 on NBC. Melissa, thank you so much. It really is a joy to talk to you, and congratulations on everything.
Thanks, Conan.
Yeah, seriously.
Can I call you Conan, or are we on? Or did I just say Mr. O'Brien?
Sadly, that is my name. Yeah.
No, I'm saying.
No, I would love you to call me Conan. That would
no.
Melissa, thank you so much, and take care.
Thanks, Conan. You too.